In today's video, my friend and I have to survive 100 days in ancient Greece, and we have 3 objectives. First, enter the Death Valley, an unforgiving desert, and defeat the sun god Ra, the king of gods, and eliminate Atum, the god of creation. Second, take back control of lost ancient Greek land by capturing castles and keeps. And third, build a tier 5 base equipped with mounted trebuchets and a heavy gate. Will we make it? Will we survive? Tune in to find out. We spawned in close by a desert biome and also a little village. Our objective for today was to get iron armor as quickly as possible. So we crafted some tools, broke some more trees, and then went and fought some animals. Having enough food is always a struggle when you're starting out in a new world. And after that, my friend quickly spotted some coal at the bottom of this pond. We blocked it off with dirt to mine it more easily, and we also didn't see any caves nearby. So yeah, getting coal by any means in this new world is super necessary. And running around, we found a crevice. My friend placed a furnace and cooked up some beef. And while it was cooking, I went deeper into the cave and mined a lot of tin, iron, and coal. And once everything finished smelting, I made us both some pieces of iron armor. I had a full set, but my friend had to replace some items with copper, unfortunately. But nevertheless, we waited out the end of the night and then moved on, only to find some weird ancient temple right after. And when I came closer, a bunch of bandits ran out and started attacking me. I fought back, but got dropped to really low health, and eventually had to run and kite them. Luckily, my friend had my back, so we took care of them all. And when I went to see what they were defending, there was a chest with a diamond cleaver inside. It did 7.5 damage, which was really good. And then we found 2 horses. After taming them, we started running, which is now much faster. Because we're in ancient Greece, a horse is a really appropriate animal to traverse the lands with. And now the time has come. I found a really good place on a small hill to put our camp. We wanted to build a little tent that would just store all the stuff that we needed. So after leveling the ground, I started placing the walls, while my friend worked on the floor, and then went down to the beach to get sand for the windows. I placed a bunch of furnaces and put them to good use. And then after a few minutes, I placed down the windows, crafted 3 doors, and placed down a bed. As it was nighttime, we went to sleep right away, and on the new day, I placed all the junk in the chest, and we rounded up the 2 horses. I crafted a transportation cart and placed it down. I didn't know how to use it at first, but then when I got the hang of it, it became so easy. This thing can carry chests, people, animals, and yeah, it's gonna be a really useful item for us to have when we do decide to go deep into the desert to explore some ancient temples. And as we got ready, we took off to explore and find some enemy bases. We got word that there was a camp close by that the enemy has captured. We couldn't allow the enemy to trespass on Greek land, so we had to show them some business. And as we finally found a bright colored tent, once we got closer, a bunch of guys started raining arrows on us. We totally forgot to craft shields, so we had to quickly leave the battlefield. But after quickly crafting the necessary equipment, we went head on right into the enemy camp again. And one of the guys was even riding a horse. Some of them also had shields, which they used to block your attacks, so the whole fight was so difficult. I'm lucky my friend was there to help me, as when the guys were focused on me, they were facing my direction. So when I couldn't land any hits because of their shields, they were totally open from behind where my friends strike them. And once the battle was done, we went inside the camp and looted the chests. They had a bunch of mithril ore and other stuff. It was really good for us, as mithril ore could be used to craft armor, which was a lot stronger than the iron armor we had equipped. so we decided to sleep in the tents as it was nighttime. And on the next day, I crafted us both the new mithril armor sets, and we sat back in the carriage and went further on. That is until we come across a really weird looking house. It looks like someone took a bunch of pumpkins and put them all together to live inside. And then a witch attacks me out of nowhere, so we kill her. But while looking around, we get attacked the second time by some scary looking scarecrows. This must have been the witch's doing, turning them into alive beings. But yeah, once again, we cleared everything, we got back on the carriage and moved on. But then we see that big mountain giant is following us. He has a lot of health, but we quickly prepare for battle and meet him head on. We can't have such dangerous creatures just roaming around the world. And the battle is actually quite easy. He has a lot of health, but the damage he does to me when he hits me isn't really that much, so we easily defeat him. And then in the distance, we finally see our very first temple. We come closer and it turns out that these guys are actually friendly. So we go into the keep and try opening a chest. But it says that we don't have control over this faction, so they're locked. But we find out that if we break the chests, then we can take the loot inside. And my friend gets so lucky, he gets a full diamond armor set, which is super awesome. We sleep, and then on the next day, we move off again. We ride until we find an old and abandoned building. It's all run down and looks ancient. We decide to explore and find a staircase that leads down. And going underground, we find that we have to fight a bunch of monsters. They come out of every hole. But once we defeat them, every corner has a few chests. And these are really cool crypts that you can open up and get some really good loot. We spent some time in here just running around and collecting everything we can. Ores, coins, weapons, armor sets, food, everything that we really can. Oh, give me them coins. Right, you ready? And on our way out, I almost missed this crypt. That's in a very dark room. It drops some stuff as well, which is super cool. Just look at all of it. And then as we take it, we head outside. It's nighttime, so what we do decide is to go back to the base and store everything we got, as our inventories are getting kinda full now. As I craft a bunch of chests and put everything inside, I also make myself a bunch of golden apples, since we got a lot of gold from the abandoned crypts we cleared last night. And then we find a lava pool. We drop a bucket on top of it and mine it for 3 obsidian. We want to have an enchanting station before we make the portal to go into the Death Valley to defeat Cerberus and an ancient Greek god of the sun. So returning back, I craft the enchanting table and we place it outside. The base is way too small for it to fit inside because of the beds and the chests we already put there. So outside it is. But once we were ready, we sleep and then head off to the desert. The entrance to the Death Valley can only be built in the desert. And for the final ingredient, I craft a scarab. It takes 3 gold and 1 diamond. And throwing it inside the water, the doors to the valley open up. We jump in and get teleported to another desert. First thing I notice is that it's twice as hot as the previous one, and we start a fight with some close guards. They're probably not happy we used the portal to get into their domain, but we have to find the Pyramid of Serapis and lay him to rest. There seems to be so many of his followers everywhere, so we have to just turn around and run. The desert doesn't also have any plants, and when you place any block, it turns into a sand block. So yeah, this is a really ruthless place. But then we come across a camel, and beside it I also see an old building. It looks run down, but for some reason a bunch of guards protecting it. So after I defeat them all, I go inside and find there's a lot of crates. One of them has 10 crunchy golden scarabs. I guess it's some type of food, so I take it with me. And moving on, we find a cave. Exploring it further looks like it doesn't end ever. But since we're here on official business, we decide not to spend any time mining. We also got ready beforehand with the mithril and diamond armor sets. So yeah, we were really well geared and ready for anything. And then when mining a tree, I guess a scarab falls from it and attacks me. There's a lot of scarabs in this desert, huh guys? But then I also notice another ancient building. I defeat the guys inside and climb up to see what the loot could be. You never know with these ancient desert temples. They could store some junk like bread and water, or they could have a golden statue of an emperor or something like that. But then while running, we see another ancient building, and the guy that was guarding it. I find an ash shoes, exile axe in one of the crates, which is super epic. It says that the fully charged attacks will make the enemy sleep back, but when I tested it on my friend it didn't work. But later on in the video you will see that I actually learned how to use it, and it will be super cool. And climbing up a hill I see another abandoned structure. This one has way more guards protecting it, so we have to fight them to get inside. But once we go inside, I find a really awesome weapon inside one of the chests. It does fast attack damage, and it will be so useful for when my axe is too slow. And this item says that if you hit the enemy, then they'll float in the air. But then again, testing it on my friend, it does not work for some reason. But running around more, we come across a camel. I managed to tame it, put a saddle on it and ride it. So yay, now I won't have to run around this blazing sun. We ride into the sunset, exploring and looking for an old pyramid that could house the ancient Greek god. And that is until we actually find it. Descending down, we were really lucky we actually caught it. It's buried in the sand so much that it's not tall anymore. And it's also covered by mountains, nearly from every side. So yeah, this thing was really difficult to find. I can't mine it from the top as it has a protection spell on it, so we have to find the entrance, and to do that we have to follow the stairs on the side of the pyramid and dig down into it, hoping that the side that we chose was the right one for the entrance. Unfortunately, it's not, and we have to choose another side to dig down into. But before that, we get ambushed by a bunch of raiders. They travel in packs, and I guess they saw our shining armor in this desert heat and thought that we would give it up easily. Well, too bad for them. So we easily got rid of them. But then when we dug down into the pyramid side again, we chose the wrong side again. descending down to the third side of the pyramid in hopes that it will have the entrance inside. We dig down but quickly find that it's also a dead end. We got so unlucky with this pyramid, it's insane. Out of 4 possible sides, we chose the wrong one every single time. But now thankfully we had one side left that we haven't tried. And digging down, we actually found the entrance. Opening up the doors, I already heard skeleton sounds, and coming in, we were greeted with a literal horde of them. I had to run around and fight them while eating golden apples. It's also good that we got prepared with our mithril and diamond armor sets, as these mobs are a lot more difficult than the normal vanilla ones. But eventually we broke all the spawners and we finished the rest off. So we got to explore the tomb.
Bro, you gotta help.
There's so many of them. There's so many. No, come help. Jesus, I'm so low on health.
I'm low, eating.
There were torches on the pillars that I could light using my own torch, and that way my torches wouldn't get spent. There was also chests everywhere in this room, and they had some pretty good loot as well inside of them, like a diamond horse armor and just random swords. But then we found a ladder that went down a floor. It wasn't lit, and when we dropped down there, it was like a tunnel maze with traps on every step. Warning, this part is not for the claustrophobic, as we had to spend a lot of time running around this tight maze, looking for a way out. The traps also didn't help, as I was constantly poisoned, with slowness effect and also sometimes blinding. But eventually, after a few circles, we found the second ladder set. This one dropped down even lower, and this was super creepy. The corridors got bigger and there were more traps on the floors and walls, but then I found that there were a bunch of rooms scattered around behind these closed doors that blended into the walls so well it was so hard to spot them. The hidden rooms had chests inside and some loot like random gear and weapons.
Yeah, just be careful about the traps. Yeah, secret room here also. Nah, nothing's good. Oh, so many traps. Don't step on them, dude. Ah, I stepped on it.
And one of the crates had a grave robber's map inside of it. I took it out and it had an X mark somewhere far away from us. It looked really promising, and we made plans to follow the map whenever we finish this pyramid and get out of here. But opening up a random door, I enter a dark and much larger room than the rest. And right in the middle is an old crypt. It's closed and there's a bunch of traps on the walls and doors. I disable the traps by clicking on them. And also try opening the crypt, but it just reads a simple message. The pharaoh turns over in his sarcophagus. But then I find out that I have to place the royal torches I've been collecting from the chest in a certain pattern around the tomb. And once I do that, I take a deep breath and open the sarcophagus once more. And the pharaoh named BakaDream with 2 mummies pops out, and I have to quickly deal with the mummies, and then the boss starts attacking my friend. I try to get him off, but he won't budge. The king mummy has an insane amount of health and hits really hard. He also spawns these mummies everywhere once in a while, and they poison you with blindness if you're not careful. The fight is long and dangerous. Thankfully we had shields we crafted before, or otherwise we would have been dead already. When the mummy started attacking, I had to eat golden apples to survive, because the battle is just so fierce. But as the king mummy was getting low on health, I made the final swing and dropped him down. He gave me a ton of XP, but that wasn't the only thing. Coming closer to the crypt, I open it and inside find a whole set of gear from the god named Atum. I check and every piece of item gives me a different effect, like night vision or anti-knockback or fire protection. It's insane. And as I put it on, I just look insane. I feel the true power of the gods within me with this armor. Like, I can take on 200 men now. The different effects of each item gives also a really nice effect for different scenarios. But by now, my friend was pretty jealous of my new armor, so we decided to climb back up from the pyramid and follow the grave robbers map we found before and see if anything useful is there. But before that, we have to traverse this hell again. Luckily, I know how to disable traps now, so I do to every one of them. And we also check other rooms to make sure we didn't miss any important things elsewhere. But once I'm out, I get greeted by a pack of raiders again. These guys probably saw us going inside and wanted to wait outside to take all the loot we found. But luckily, I had the god armor equipped and could easily deal with these guys now. And running across the desert, following the map, I come across a weird structure. It's like an animal with a long neck. But while outside, we get attacked by a group of archers. So we decide to run inside and take shelter. Inside is a crypt with an idol of labor inside. I don't know what it's for, but whoever this crypt belonged to must have been really important. After sitting inside, we decide to go out and deal with the raider pack. And after defeating them, I see another pyramid. This one is right on the pointer of the map. And this must be another grave of some ancient god. Luckily, its entrance wasn't covered in sand, so we could easily walk inside. And there we fought a bunch of skeletons again, killing their spawners and looting the chests we found, and another ladder to descend down. I can't believe we are doing this again. But running through the maze with traps again, I find the way to the third underground level. There's another corridor with a lot of traps on every step, and a bunch of hidden doors that lead to random rooms. Luckily, I find the room with the king mummy right away, and we go inside. My friend helps me put the royal torches in place to awaken this ancient god, and then we open the crypt to have another fierce battle. And this time, the pharaoh, Basjalom, pops out. He looks angry at us for awakening him from his slumber, and for some reason, he focuses his attacks on me. I get poisoned and cursed all at the same time, but luckily I managed to cover his most potent attacks with my shield. He also has an insane amount of health, so it's a time-consuming challenge to defeat him. But once I do, he gives me enough XP to get to level 31. That's pretty good considering I didn't even have to build an XP farm. And I'm excited to see how powerful this god armor will be when I enchant it back home. But for now, we open up the sarcophagus and inside there's armor from the god of Ra. This armor also gives an insane amount of armor as well as different enchants. My friend looks really awesome, and his armor gives him a cool ability to light anyone on fire who touches him. So the Ra god must have been a Sun King or something like that.
Nice. I'm loving your armor, dude. Yeah, it's looking really nice. Really nice. Oh, what the hell? Don't come here. Don't come in that door. No, just go.
But we quickly scavenge the rest of the rooms and then head out of the pyramid back to the surface.
Nothing good yet. Oh, so many traps. I'm gonna disable all of them. Nope, nothing good. Nah. And another trap. Oh, that's not good. A torch won't save you from the trap.
And on our way back, we get attacked by a bunch of goons. I used my new explosive bow and tested out how it worked. Having also completed all the goals we had in this dimension, we returned back to the normal world. We both now got god armor and weapons, and we're ready to face off against hordes of enemies, and that's exactly what we did by attacking a really populated village.
So you wanna go attack this town here? Yeah, this one. Yeah, just come closer, it's like really populated. We can get a lot of loot from here, I bet. Oh no, they're shooting back, careful. Dude, there's a lot of them. Even on horses. They even have horses, be careful. Bro, you have so many arrows sticking out of you, careful, I'll get them. Don't worry, I'll get them. Yeah, just hide. No one can hide from me. Nobody, I'll get everyone. Don't kill the horse. Oh, he killed his own horse, come on.
I hit the lever on the big gate that surrounds the village, and as it slowly opens up, we're greeted by what must be the village champion. But because we have god armor on, we don't fear anything and rush right into the middle of the town, aggroing every hostile guard we see. But this city is a lot bigger than what we thought, so we get swarmed by like 100 mobs. We quickly get out of there, but not before I collect some of these guys' gardens. And now we could finally do the main objective as an ancient Greek warriors. And that is to capture and return all the land the Greek Empire once had. A lot of different factions placed all of their castles and temples in every area. And now we have the power to stop them. 2 people with god armor. Let's see how this turns out. And after sleeping, we get up and get ready to venture and find our first target. But it didn't take long for us to see a massive keep. They started firing at us from a trebuchet, so I went up to their castle gate and started banging on it. There wasn't any way to open it like a lever on the side, so banging it with our weapons was the only way. And once the gate fell, we were greeted by a group of really heavily armored guards of the Empire. They had beefy armor, but that didn't matter as we were prepared as well. So going in slowly, we defeated any enemy that gets in our way of capturing this base.
Yeah, this is a nasty castle. Like, there's so many people here, like even these archers. There's just so many of them. Oh no, the gate. Yeah, the gate closed actually. It closed on me. Oh, bro, careful. Don't hit me, please, don't hit me. I was so low on health just now. Yeah, bro, we just need to kill everyone. Yep, there's a guy here too.
And at the top, there's the pesky trebuchet archers that shot at me before. I make them fall off the castle for what they've done. And then we proceed to the very top of the base to capture this castle. Which we then do, and a victory horn plays out. This keep is now under our control. The land surrounding it is now back in the Greek Empire's rule. And because this is the first base that we captured, and it was a pretty good place, we decide to make this our base. So as I got back to the old base, I started gathering everything from the chests into a special carriage. I crafted it to hold all of our things. The journey would be long and also dangerous with all our precious loot on the road. But if we did move the base, then it would be a massive upgrade. We'd install back the gate that we destroyed, and that way we'd have a lot more protection from other raiders or Empire guards that want to get some revenge. It was already nighttime when I got back to the new base with all of our loot. So what we did is go to the very top floor. It already had a campfire, so we figured that placing the beds here would be the best location from the whole base, as we get a nice view from the windows, as well as being high means we don't have to worry about there being monsters nearby for when we try to sleep. And on the next day, we wanted to try our god armor a bit more, so we went exploring until we found another giant structure with some enemies. And this one was just massive. Coming closer to the gate, we get attacked by a bunch of guards on horses. This castle looked like it had a lot more protection than the normal ones, so we figured that they must be guarding something important here. So coming through the front gate, we see a stable area where they keep their horses. The base is all overrun by the guards and archers. But clearing all the rooms, I see a bunch of chests and also places where these guys sleep and live. Remember that we are clearing these castles as our goal is to bring back the Greek Empire into power for this land. That's why we even got the god armor. Ancient Greece is from the past, so gathering soldiers to fight for it would be impossible. So we had to go to the desert dimension and collect god armor that we could become a two-man army that can overtake any amount of soldiers and bring glory to the ancient empire.
Bro, you have so many arrows. Oh, look at this cool bridge. Yeah, come here, look at this bridge. It's so dope. Bro, you didn't look up. Look up. Yeah, it's so high. I know. Watch him close. Bye. Ooh, that's a big fall, that's a big fall. Careful you don't fall, dude.
And as we climb the endless tower, we finally reach the top. There's a bunch of mages here that try to fight back, but we eventually overpower them. And this whole area looks like a throne room. There's also a really cool looking chair that I decide to take back to our base as a trophy. But before we end this raid, there's still a couple of rooms left that we need to clear in order to capture the base. When you capture a flag, all the enemies need to be eliminated, so it was actually pretty time consuming tracking back and defeating every single enemy we missed or that hid in some secret room. I decide to relocate the king's chair outside so I could have a better view of what fortified key we had just captured. And let me tell you, sitting on this edge in hardcore mode is really epic. And when we finally finished capturing the base, I went inside the chests and found a lot of diamonds, gold, and golden apples. No wonder there was such a tight security and so many mobs protecting this place. My friend also makes it rain golden apples from his little throne of dirt. This raid was so worth it in the end. Who knew we'd be walking off with so much gold and diamonds after this? But making my way back to the base, I put all the junk inside the chest and also placed the throne in the middle of the room. And on the next day, I'm just minding my own business, doing some parkour to waste my time while my friend finishes pouring all the stuff from the carriage chest I brought back from the old base into our new storage room. And then in the distance, I notice a fire. And when I approach it, I'm suddenly attacked by a bunch of Empire guards. What I come across is crazy. It looks like they are burning a witch. There's so many of them surrounding me that I decide to fall back to the base. But as I approached it, I was still followed, so I took out my bow and started firing explosive arrows at them. And as I got back to this place, I noticed that there were two people they wanted to burn. One a witch as you expect, but the other one was a normal villager. He was really lucky that I happened to come across them. But as I broke one of them stakes, it just turned into an item, and when I placed it back again, the witch has disappeared. Sheesh, I guess she was really a wizard. But then I saw a skeleton horse on a tree. I bring it down by breaking the blocks it's standing on. And then decide to continue running to our next objective. My friend was already waiting there. And as I got there, I saw a giant temple. We needed to go inside and get the holy scrolls of the Roman Empire back. But this thing was guarded more than anything we come across before. And my fear was that we heard there was a Grand Master waiting inside. The faction whichever controlled this land caught wind of our attacks on the previous two bases. And I guess they sent out the big guns to prepare for a defense. But as I was in the middle of fighting all these guys, there were just too many of them. Imagine what would have happened if we didn't come prepared with the god armor we got from the desert dimension. I guess we're really lucky as this compound had a whole army waiting for us. These guys just never ended. Over the fight, I had to eat so many golden apples, it was insane.
Oh no, no, no. Oh my god, there's so many of them. Oh my god. Look how he's flying, bro. Get out. Where is he? Where is my friend? Why is he not helping me? Look at all of them. Jesus. There's so many of them. It's so hard. So very quickly, the plan is to actually go inside, and we are trying to beat this right now if we manage to kill them. Oh no, Crusaders out, our Crusaders are out. They are actually the stronger ones here, so that's really, really not good. But we still managed, so yeah, that's good. don't mind me just shooting through the door. Don't mind me. Oh, don't close the door. Don't close the door now. So my friend's currently in there and paddling through, so I just have to help him. But I don't want to really go in there because we might hit each other. Yeah, just shooting from here seems to help. He's not taking any damage, so that's good. Gotta go, gotta go. No, 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 no.
And then, in the middle of the fight, there he was, the Witchbane Grandmaster. He was the toughest boss yet, and I had to fight against him solo because my friend was too busy being attacked by the other 20 guards. But I'm not complaining, as the fight was super epic. It was a duel for the Holy Scrolls we came for, and at the end, he fell. As I rushed the cathedral, there were archers on the top of the walls. I used my explosive bow to bring them down. And then came up to the Holy Scrolls. There was also a chest behind them, and it had a Tefnut skull, a spear which I could throw, and when it hit someone they'd also be struck by lightning. I then finished off any enemies left, because it seemed like a few more run up inside the cathedral while we still were attacking it. And once we got out, my friend showed me that he had collected the 2 scrolls. This is all we needed, so we quickly run out the temple back to the base. The raid was a success, and I also got a cool looking spear that could strike lightning at any target I wanted. We chose a good space to place the 2 scrolls and then went to sleep. To start the new day, I crafted a diamond shovel and a hoe, and dropped down to find a good place to build a garden. I didn't feel like the base was complete without one, so it was like a final requirement for me to feel at home. And since we also defeated all the local factions that surrounded this land, we were done claiming back the land for the old Greek Empire. I placed down a couple of rows of dirt, and yeah, I chose this pond because it's a lot easier to just do a farm here than dig out a whole water channel for some other place. As I hoed the ground, my friend gave me some seeds to plant, and as I finished the garden, the base was fully complete. We had a long journey and finished a lot of tasks in these 100 days. We went into the Death Valley and defeated 2 pharaohs, got full ancient god armor sets, and went on to reclaim a lot of lost land for the ancient Greek Empire. We fought against 100 soldiers as a 2-man army and survived a lot of battles. So if you made it this far into the video, then subscribe. I'll be posting a part 2, 200 days really soon, so make sure not to miss it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.